Okay, right, I'm just over on the HB42 stand with Charlie. He's going to talk through, well, a couple of new products, or one in particular that is really new to the P&D show for this year. So I'm going to do a swivel round of the camera and it can tell us all about it.
Hello there, Charlie Banks from HB42. So this is the ultimate waterproofer. It's made from an MS polymer, which is the same technology as our sealant and adhesive. So basically the sealant and adhesive, this product, the MS polymer technology, it combines a silicone and a PU all in one. And it had superior flexibility, durability and longevity technology basically. So if I show you just how flexible it is, this is basically the MS polymer technology in a liquid form. If you give that a feel, it's like a stress ball.
That's just on a sponge.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So we made it into a waterproof paint, which is able to tank anything, virtually any substrate. I'm talking bricks, concrete, plywood, plasterboard, any substrate apart from like bitumen, which is like an oily one. It just can't adhere to it because it's got that oily film on it. So this can tank bathrooms, gutters, roofs, above ground, below ground, basements, and it combines 3 or 4 products in one. So if you're tanking a bathroom, usually you'd use a jointing tape, a primer, and then a waterproof membrane. This is it all in one. So you just need 2 coats of this. You can apply it by roller or paintbrush, and you can seal the edges of your bathroom, let's say, which acts as the tape, and that's all you need. You can tile straight over it, you can put your shower tray straight over it, and you're good to go.
Could this be used for tanking cellars?
Yep.
But would you have to put something over this product in the cellar, or would you use it to hold back any moisture that comes through the wall? That's good to go once you've applied it.
This is good to go. You can paint over it as well because
Right.
it's MS polymer, but technically that would be perfect.
Yeah.
However, one caveat, it cannot take a lot of foot traffic. The product is very durable, but if you constantly walk over that, if you squeeze that a million times,
Yeah.
it will crack.
Yeah.
It is very flexible, but it can't take a lot of foot traffic. So it couldn't be, you couldn't put this in a kitchen and walk straight over it. But
No.
a cellar, which is used
I'm
every
thinking
so
cellar
often.
walls.
Yeah, oh, perfect for
Yeah.
that. Absolutely perfect. However, it's not a shortcut. If you have a water leak,
Yeah.
it will hold back the water, but that water will find a way through. Just like if you've got mold in your bathroom, you don't paint straight over it, you tackle the mold problem so the mold doesn't come back.
In effect, this is a better product for sealing a surface prior to doing your tiling or painting to
Correct.
stop water ingress
Precisely.
from the outside and
Yep.
not so much from the inside. So you wouldn't use it specifically on damp wall surfaces that are being affected by something outside like soil or anything like that.
You can use that.
You can?
So you can use it below ground. However, if you paint up to a line, that water will be able to find a way through. So if you go, so let's say your ground line's here, just go over the ground line so the water won't be able to travel up.
Yeah.
So as long as you don't paint below the ground line, you're absolutely spot on.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's such a versatile product.
And I take it garage roofs and things like that, it's
Perfect for
ideal
that.
for.
Yeah, it's repair work, it's new build,
Yeah.
whatever you want, goes straight over GRP.
Yeah.
Any type of surface like that. Comes in 6 kg tubs in black and grey, but it's not cheap. It's about £100 a tub. However, if you're tanking a bathroom, you're using all 3 of those products, that's going to cost you 400 or 500 quid. So technically, it's quite cheap.
Yeah.
And this covers about 6 metres squared. So
And
just enough for a bathroom.
As a decorator, could this also be used in metal gutters and things like that for sealing?
Perfect. Over aluminium, over steel, whatever you want.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. What have you got on the lines of caulk and things like that that might be useful for the decorator as well?
So hold that. So naturally, as a decorator, this is probably the product that everyone knows us for.
Yeah.
This is the HB42 Ultimate Deck Caulk.
Yeah.
Voted #1 on the Decorators Forum in terms of caulk.
Yeah.
It does not crack.
Yeah.
Guarantee that. What I don't understand is decorators like yourself, you're using prime paints like Benjamin Moore, Scuff X or whatever it is. This is liquid gold, paying 100, 150 quid for a tin, for a 10 litre or 5 litre, but you're using a crappy cork. You're using
Yeah.
a 90p cork.
Yeah.
You're driving a Rolls Royce, but then you're using a Fiat Punto cork. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You've got to use quality with quality.
Yeah.
And this does not crack.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone loves it.
So what sort of price is that then? Because people do always look at price, but
course.
I know that material-wise, we're not looking at using many of those on an ordinary job.
Yes.
So if it's £5, £6, £7, £8,
Oh, it's nowhere near that. It's half that. So this is probably around, depends where you are, around £3 to £4 mark. I've seen it at £4, I've seen it at £3.
Yeah.
But £3.50 is round about where it should be.
And what I would say, on an ordinary job, you probably might, if you use 2 of these,
Yes.
you're looking at spending less than a tenner.
Yeah.
And the chances are you're probably using half of a tube of that on a job anyway.
And the most important thing is you could buy a 90p cork, but you're going to get called back. That's going to ruin your
Yeah.
reputation, and you're going to have to buy more cork anyway.
Yeah.
So in our eyes, our mantra is, yes, you might pay a little bit more, but
Yeah.
you're not going to get called back.
No, that's right.
And most people who do use our products, they don't go to anything else.
Yeah.
And then naturally, if you're using a lot of that, you're probably using a lot of 2-part wood fill.
Yeah.
So what we noticed with other wood fillers, they're made of styrene. We've made a styrene-free based filler. Styrene is a bonding agent that causes cancer.
Yeah.
So when you're sanding and you inhale that dust, if you're not using a duster sander, that is causing cancer. So we straight off the bat went styrene-free. People thought that might sacrifice quality. In fact, we thought it actually aided the quality. So we make this in a vacuum. So one thing you'll notice when you open the tin, there's not actually that much in there. There is exactly the same amount as it says on the tin, but it's very concentrated. There's no air, there's no fluffiness. So it's a very buttery-like filler, very creamy. It's one thing you'll notice, it's not grainy at all, which also makes it very easy to work with and super easy to sand. So usually you use like an 80 grit for sanding down. You use a 120 and you're absolutely perfect for this. So goes longer and it's much easier to use. So those are the 2 hero products if you're a decorator.
Yeah.
This is a bit more specialist,
Yeah.
but it's such an unsung hero of our
But
range.
we need to know about it.
Yeah, definitely. It's my favourite product.
Yeah.
Just because it's so versatile. And squeezing this is so fun.
It's the stress relief.
Exactly.
The other thing I'm picking up on is your SP1 that you've got, which
Yeah.
is your shellac-based primer. Is that the one
we've
I'm
got-
thinking of?
Yep, so we've got 2 problem-solving paints, as we
Yeah.
call it. These are 2 primer sealers. We've got the PS1, which is the shellac-based, and the PS2, which is the water-based.
Yeah.
The things we wanted to tackle with this is very simple. Opacity, coverage, and odour.
Yeah.
This does not smell. One of the worst things about shellacs, that smell.
Yeah.
We're dealing with, hospitals, we're dealing with schools. They can't use original shellacs just because the kids can't stand the smell. It's actually too dangerous. This, low odour, goes further, and it's super opaque. That's it, very simple. Those are the things we wanted to tackle. One thing you'll notice, it's a bit thicker than most shellacs. Give it a good shake, there's probably some sediment on the bottom. As soon as you put it on that brush, you'll go, this is thicker.
Yeah.
That's because it goes for longer. It's more opaque.
And I take it is proper from the lac beetle.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
what are you thinning it with, which would be methylated spirits? That's where the traditional smell comes
So
from.
we're still using methylated spirits, but the way we get rid of the odour is we're using the purest of pure meths.
Right.
Most other shellacs are using that fermented meths.
Yeah.
Anything fermented has that horrible odour. So
And that was put in it to stop people drinking it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Precisely. So we tinkered with the formulation a little bit of traditional shellacs, and that's how we're able to have a higher concentration of shellac
Yeah.
and made it at a price that's better than most competitors.
Yeah.
So super opaque, goes a bit further. Most shellacs are using 2 to 3 coats. We
Yeah.
aim for 1 to 2.
Yeah. Is it another case that you've got to use it sparingly and build it up with a couple of coats, or is it good to go for 1 coat? A lot of problems that people get with shellac-based products is they put it on too heavy and then they find that it's probably cracked or moved because they put it on really too thickly.
Yes.
Is this a case that not so much scrub it out, but don't be overloading it for that first coat?
No, I think the reason why people are overloading is probably because they're afraid that it won't work.
Yeah.
You've got to be confident in this. Use what I would say like a normal amount and it will work perfectly.
Yeah.
I think people just because shellacs over the years have gotten worse, they've gotten thinner.
Yeah.
And people are getting more overcompensating with the brush.
Yeah.
Just be confident, use it as you would a normal shellac,
Yeah.
any type of paint, and it will work
Yeah.
perfectly. And with this, the exact same problem we had, we wanted to make it go further, more opaque, more coverage. It's a fantastic all-rounder, slightly cheaper than a shellac.
Yeah.
Great for woodwork, great for most surfaces.
Will 3 things stop knots? Shellac-based product,
Yep,
gold leaf,
Yeah.
aluminium leafing primer.
yep.
And then the derivatives of water-based. Is that a water-based product that would stop actual knots, or would you keep with the traditional?
I'm not going to tell you that will cure knots. I will always do shellac. If you've got anything sappy, anything knotty, any water stains, I really don't agree with putting moisture on moisture. And this, I'm not going to sit here and say this will cure water stains. Nothing will replace shellac.
Yeah.
However, I understand the price point. I understand it can be over-engineered for, spindles, woodwork. No point in doing that. A water base would work fine. But anything that's really knotty or a harsh stain, nothing will beat shellac.
Got to keep with that. So your stain blocking element of your water-based, what is it good for your stain blocking? Is it if you've got tanning, or would you keep with your shellac-based again?
Again, any type of tanning, any type of bleeding, I would scrub that away and keep using shellac.
Yeah.
But apart from your really harsh stains, like your tanning and like other bits, this is perfect for everything else.
Yeah.
It's a great all-rounder.
Yeah.
It's a great all-rounder.
And good grip properties.
Yeah, fantastic adhesion as well.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for talking to me, Charlie. That's
No
really
problem at
interesting.
all. No
We've covered quite a few products. With the stand being quieter, that's what I've wanted to do, and
Yes.
try and get as much information out of you as possible.
Look,
So
we could be here all
Thank you.
day if I wanted to show you everything. But these are the hero products that I think we need to focus on, and we want to get the message out.
what I'm going to do, it'll be time stamped for you on your HB42 stand, and there'll be a link for your website. So if anybody does want to see any more products or find out any more information, they can contact you that way.
Perfect.
So
Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you very
Love
much.
it.
Cheers.
Love it.